Shop Rats. Today we're going to answer the Dodge Whisperer's question, what is it with the Mopars and the Mini Coopers? Well, it's an interesting story, so let's watch the show intro. I'll see you in about 27 seconds. I'm Mike, and this is My Car Shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Cars Shop.
You know that around here we are mostly Mopar. We do have a few exceptions like the 26 Oakland, which is a family treasure, and the 47 Ford. We have a Cadillac and a couple of other things. But the one car, or the one group of cars that we never really talk about, other than me being in a lot when I'm doing Talk About a Tuesday episodes, are the Mini Coopers. And we do own 3 of them. And the story behind that is rather interesting, so let's kind of share a little of that with you. If you haven't checked out the Dodge Whisperer's channel, by all means, please go ahead and do that. He's got a great channel over there, extremely knowledgeable professional mechanic, and there's a lot you can learn from him. But one night in the discussion tab, I posted a picture of a row of cars over here, and there was 1, 2, 3, I don't remember. There was a bunch of Minis over there anyway, and there was also another Mini here for quite a while. That's now gone. And he asked the question, why the Mopars and the Minis? Well, again, the story is rather interesting. So it goes like this. It was probably 2012, in fact, I know it was, that my business manager and I were attending a work-related conference down in the metro area. And we had been thinking for a while about what would be some unique company cars in our area that would stand out and be different. So my son Joe had suggested we look at Mini Coopers because he always liked them. And so we were very close to the Mini dealership, Motor City Mini, where it was located at that time. And we decided on a whim to just go and look at one. Had no intention of buying one. That was probably in June of that year, 2012. So we went, and it was a pure image thing. It had nothing, didn't care if the cars were very reliable, didn't care if they were very good, didn't care if they were comfortable, didn't care about gas mileage. It was purely an image buy. Understand, we had no intention of buying one. We were just looking. It was dark, it was late. The one we were driving was actually a turbo version on a 5-speed, which was quite fun. And we were both quite impressed. And so we took the brochure, we filed it away, put it on our vision board for the future of the business, and said, that's cool. Well, lo and behold, that year, we had a really, really good year. And as the year was ramping up, we realized we were going to end up owing a boatload in taxes. So she and I looked at each other and said, maybe we need to rethink that. So we took another trip down to the metro area, about 2 hours from where the business is located, and started talking numbers and started kicking the tires around. After talking with our accountants and so forth, we realized that it probably made the most sense for the business, for multiple reasons, to go ahead and get serious about buying one. We continued to talk with the salesperson and decided to go ahead and get one. Problem was, like I said, they didn't have one on the lot that we were interested in, so there was enough time. We had to make the purchase before December 31st for the tax write-off that we needed. But there was enough time to have one built, so we actually filled out the build sheet, had that white one that's right over there, built to order, and it was shipped over from England. We were actually able to watch on the website, watch the process of having it built, watch the process of having it shipped, watch the process of it coming into the East Coast, New York City, across the country, and then we picked it up in late December. I think it might have been right before Christmas, I don't remember, but it was in December of 2012. I remember the day well because here we had our brand new car. Becky and I went down with her, and she drove our truck back. Becky and I drove the Mini back, and it was a blizzard. We were leaving in rush hour in Detroit, and if you've been in the rush hour traffic in Detroit, trust me, it sucks bad. In a blizzard, on a brand new car that was just delivered from England with 8 miles on it. We made it home, sort of, that night. It was rough, but we got here. I was quite impressed with how good it actually was in the snow. And we started driving it. We were on the road almost every day somewhere in the state doing both tech work and sales, as well as business development stuff. Well, we had the seat time in the car. We were working every day to develop the business. We put the first 60,000 miles on that car probably in less than 2 years. Ran the wheels off of it. And having spent as much time in that thing as we did, I was actually pretty impressed with the car. Gas mileage on that one was just under 50 miles to the gallon. Our sales gal said that that was higher than normal, but once in a while there is one like that. It still gets in the low to mid 40s, and that's got 180,000 miles on it now. It's a 2013. As time went on, the staff continued to grow in the business. Our business was doing really well, and we were starting to realize that not only did we need to have company cars from a tax deduction standpoint, but we also needed it from a liability standpoint because we had so many employees using their own cars, and a cost standpoint. The amount of money we were paying in mileage more than paid for having those cars. So we went ahead and purchased a used one, a 2014, probably around I would guess it was 2016, 2017. The car only had 30,000 miles on it when we got it. That was a little bit more upscale. It's got a little more options on it. It's got the better sound system and so forth. That one doesn't get quite the mileage. That one's in, even now is still in the 40s, but it was never as good as that white one. At the end of 2017, we'd been having a pretty good year again and realized that we probably needed to look at making another capital expenditure. At that point, our staff was still increasing. It looked like we were going to be doing a lot more traveling for some of our more distant customers, and we went ahead and purchased the third one that Becky's actually driving now, with the intention of having it there in the fleet when we needed it for staff use. It ended up never happening, but we went ahead and got the all-wheel drive. That's a 3-cylinder turbo, where these other ones are 4-cylinder non-turbo. They're all automatics. And we went ahead and got the Countryman because we thought not only is it going to be better in the snow because it's all-wheel drive, but also just a little more upscale for dealing with clients if we were taking people out and stuff like that. The interesting thing about the Mini is that the company has been owned by BMW since 1996, but it's only been since the early 2000s, I think, that Mini has really become heavily influenced by BMW, and a lot of that BMW technology has gotten in there. I don't know much about the older Minis. The ones I know are the 13 and up that we own 3 of, but I'd have to say that I'm quite impressed with them. The only thing I really have a complaint on the two Clubmans that we have, the 2 smaller ones, is there tends to be a lot of noise in the rear end when the tires get worn and the wheel bearings start getting bad and so forth. So they do tend to chew up tires on the back end especially, and that's probably because we just don't get them aligned as often as we should. And that's a minor complaint, We've run the wheels off of them. The blue one has like 80,000 on it now. That one's not here right now where I would show you that. I'll see if I can find a picture to insert. Like I said, the white one's got 180,000 miles on it. I think Becky's has 50 or 60,000 miles on that. We've had virtually no trouble with it at all. So to sum it all up, the Mini Coopers really were just an image buy for the business. That's all it was. We wanted something in our local area that would stand out. There were no other Minis in this area, hardly at all, when we purchased those, and they had signage on them at that time. We had magnetic signs for the business, and everybody knew who our business was because of those Mini Coopers. And I've been Mopar since 1982. I got my first Mopar was a 70 Dodge pickup with a big block 4-speed. It had a car 4-speed, body 4-speed in it. Then I got a Roadrunner. Those stories are here on the channel somewhere. But I've been mostly Mopar ever since then. I've had hundreds, over 100 older or collector cars over the years. We have 17 cars here right now that include our daily drivers and the 3 Minis, but those are all company cars. So, but they're here because we have a limited amount of staff right now. The pandemic really gutted our staff, and so we have more cars than we have people right now. So I've got them here. One of them's loaned out right now for somebody that needed a vehicle to drive temporarily. But that's the story behind why we have the Mini Coopers. All right, that's going to do it. We're over on the Face thing. We're over on Instant Grandma. She gives us cookies and stuff like that, you know. We're on the You thing here, so like, subscribe, share the videos, drop comments over in the community tab. And one more thing, this is the most important thing on this channel, but you guys already knew that.
Rock!